with we recently had a reorganization that resulted in after school being created as part of just K through 12, as opposed to being K through 12 in early childhood. We've also, as part of that, created through the Fund Development Office, created a system that will allow potential providers to come in, not only through the regular RFP process that we've conducted historically, but as an addendum to RFP. Now you get to sit down, go through a grant writing class. It is not a formal 8-hour class. It is more, these are the things that you look for. These are the things that may be advantageous for you to take a look at, strengths, weaknesses, best practices. And for us, it provides, hopefully, the not-for-profits with the opportunity to learn how to write better grants, because we have found, having been in the after-school provider business for now some almost 8 years, that it is absolutely critical to help those providers in writing their grants, in understanding that accountability is critical, and also, more importantly, over the last 2 years, understanding that if you do receive the dollars, you have to deliver what you promised. Historically, I think in St. Louis, typically, and I'll just use it as one example, historically in St. Louis, you got your dollars before you performed. Well, that has been totally reversed now. You have to have the foundation to deliver. If you aren't delivering, you don't get funded. And more importantly, if you consistently don't deliver, you are not part of the system. You're not part of the system of the After School for All Partnership. As a matter of fact, and as a specific example, we're going to be meeting with the Mental Health Board this afternoon specifically to talk about an organization who has not delivered over the last year, who will be relieved of their funding, and we're going to ask them to go to the minor leagues and then come back, work their way back up, not kicking them out, but clearly helping them understand that they've not delivered, they have not been responsive to accountability timelines, and as a result, they will not be funded. Having said, I'm saying all that to say, Ron, that simply for the After School for All Partnership, accountability is a critical linchpin in the early stages of the organization. Providing you with the systems to help write better grants is a newly added component that we hope will help people to write the grants. But ultimately, if you don't deliver what you promise, you will not be funded. If you don't deliver it in a timely manner, you will not be funded. If you don't reach the Missouri After School Standards developed by Harry Kuyaw's office, or if you don't match the technical assistance components that are delivered so ably by St. Louis for Kids, you don't get your money. And I think ultimately that's going to help us deliver a much better product to our young people in St. Louis.
You know, Wendell, it's interesting hearing what you just said and contrasting it with what Greg said about the not-for-profit model and the funding model. I mean, it's an interesting contrast actually between that. But we're not going to go to Jamie.
I'll let you guys have your little sparring match in a moment. But I just wanted to say earlier when I gave my initial presentation, I mentioned that the St. Louis for Kids had gotten a Compassion Capital federal grant. And this speaks directly to that question. That for 3 years, we're going to be working with, probably 100 to 150 organizations every year that will be doing training on grant writing, on various organizational development topics, governance, what else? I can't remember the trainings that we do. And working with organizations to improve their infrastructure as an organization, including fund development. We're not a funder. We can't, slog you or give you bad points under this. But what we're hoping to do is find organizations that truly are interested in improving what they're doing